Yeah. Okay. Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. We are from Group 2. We are going to present about hot air balloon debate. My name is Muhammad Daniel. My role is Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin.
My name is Muhammad Helmi bin Hussein. My role as Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Noor Hisham bin Abdullah.
My name is Muhammad Azri bin Ishaq. My role is Bill Gates.
My name is Hafiz Al-Azad and I am as Robert Cook.
My name is Muhammad Amiruddin and I will act as the Tan Sri Piramli.
Hello everyone. I am Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Noor Hisham bin Abdullah. As you are well aware, I serve as the Director General of Health since March 2013. I have made a great contribution to this country as I lead Malaysia to battle the COVID-19 pandemic, where is the virus start from China. Until now, we are continuous fight the virus. My strong background as medical doctor start in 1988 and later specializing in the accident and emergency department in 1989. I have master in surgery and received an endocrinology fellowship training at various institutes in Australia. Until now, I took the role of head and senior consultant of breast and endocrine surgery at Hospital Putrajaya. As you all know, COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered strain of coronavirus, a type of virus known to cause respiratory infection in humans. This new strain was unknown before December 2019, when outbreak of pneumonia of unidentified cause emerged in Wuhan, China. The first case of COVID-19 in Malaysia was detected on 24 January 2020. As the strain virus become active in Malaysia, I working closely with WHO country office in Malaysia to prevent COVID-19 pandemic, where its movement control order or MCO are introduced. With that, people will stay at home other than being at outdoor. This will make sure people who are maybe have symptoms of COVID-19 not infect the healthy person. Usually, the symptom will appear after 2 weeks when the person is infected. So, being in home are the best precaution taken at the time. Other than that, to maintaining and enhancing infection prevention and control, I introduce to people to practice social distancing, wear a face mask and practice good hygiene. As we can see, even people are doing outdoor activity or going to work, the rate of infection are decreased as well. This show these practice are working until now, even though people should not relax because this pandemic are not over yet. This time around, everybody is having the wishful thinking of having an effective treatment and effective vaccine for this disease. The world is on high hope for this too. I and my collaboration are giving the best to this country and people as well, including procuring critical laboratory and medical supplies, surveillance, risk assessment, modeling and projection, also communication and engage with the public on how to protect themselves and others, including the cater message to the general public and vulnerable populations that are at high risk. I believe my contribution are giving most important impact to society in the short and the long term. That's why I have to stay to continuous giving help to society in this country.
Hello everyone. My name is Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin. I am the Prime Minister of Malaysia. I was born in Muar, Johor, and I attend University of Malaya in Bachelor degree in Economic and Malay Study in 1971. As you are well aware, my journey in political is quite extensive, starting from First Minister of Johor to Deputy Prime Minister and lastly become a Prime Minister, which show my strong passion and experience in politics for about 42 years. I became Prime Minister and lead the country during COVID-19 crisis which show my capability and dedication to take care of Malaysia. I have made great contribution by implement movement control order, or you can call it MCO, to prevent the disease from infecting more Malaysians, which show my decision skill in critical situation. I also introduced economic stimulus package that is worth RM 250 billion to help Malaysia economy from getting worse. After that, by announced conditional movement control order CMCO, where certain economic sector were allowed to operate gradually. The reason I did this is to recover the Malaysia economy. Prime Minister is important for the country because he or she is needed in order to maintaining and coordinating the government. Therefore, I should remain in the balloon. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is William Henry Gates. You know me as Bill Gates. I born in 1955 from Washington. I'm a software developer and philanthropist. As you were all well aware, I is a co-founder of Microsoft with my childhood friends, Paul Allen, in 1975 at New Mexico. At that time, I read the January 1975 issues of Popular Electronics, which demonstrated at Altair 8800. And I contact Micro Instrumentation and Telemetry System (MITS) to inform them that I and others were working on basic interpreter for the platform. But in reality, we did not have an Altair and not written code for it yet. We merely wanted to gauge MITS interest. MITS President Ed Roberts agreed to meet us for a demonstration and over course of few weeks. We developed an RC interpreter be demonstration at MITS office in New Mexico. It was a success and result in a deal with MITS to distribute the interpreter as Altair Basics. So in November 1975, Alan named our partnership is Microsoft, a combination of microcomputer and software, and our first office was in Elberg. After years, the company became the largest personal computer software company. Okay, I led the company as a chairman and CEO until I stepped down as CEO in January 2000. I remained as a chairman and became a chief software architect. In June 2006, I transitioned to a part-time role at Microsoft and full-time at Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It's a private charitable foundation that me and my wife established on 2000. After I stepped down as a chairman at Microsoft Corporation on 2014, I became a technology advisor there to support the new appointed CEO Satya Nadella. So other than that, I held a chairman and founder of Branded Entertainment Network, chairman and co-founder for Terra Power, and chairman and co-founder of Cascade Investment. As you all were aware that I have a sizable amount of money to various charitable organizations and scientific research programs through Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And after all that, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation become the world's largest private charity. At that time, we hold 46.8 billion assets. Our primary goal is to enhance healthcare and reduce extreme poverty across the globe, and to expand education opportunities and access to information technology in US. So right now, we also support around the globe regarding the COVID-19 problem. We support their healthcare and reduce everything we can. So, in other words, in 2009, I and Warren Buffett and others billionaires pledged to give at least half of our wealth to philanthropies. So I think I really should stay in this hot air balloon because right now the world still needs someone like me to support around them.
Okay, hello gentlemen. My name is Robert Kwok Hong Nim, and you all can call me as Robert Kwok. I am Malaysian business magnate and investor of Chinese descent. I was born on the 6th of October in Johor Bahru, Malaysia. So my father was Chinese who arrived in Malaysia from Fuji. I have two brothers and I am the youngest one. So I grew up speaking his parents' Chinese Fuzhou dialect, English and Japanese, because I born during uh, Japan was. Dah stop.
Tiga.
Hello gentlemen, my name is Robert Kwok Hong Min, and you all can call me as Robert Kwok. I am Malaysian business magnate and investor of Chinese descent. I was born on the 6th of October in Johor Bahru, Malaysia. My father was Chinese who arrived in Malaysia from Fuji. I have two brothers and I am the youngest one. I grew up speaking as my parents' language, that is Chinese Fuzhou dialect, English and Japanese, during Japan's wartime occupation of Malaysia. I am among the most successful Asian self-made industrialists who rule the business world, the Malaysian billionaire and a living legend. No one will perhaps have had as many business as me, all of them so huge. I had tried mine hand in sugarcane, oil, mining, flour, hotels, publishing and animal feed business, striking a huge success in whatever I touch. My story is one of those inspiring rags to riches of all persons in Malaysia. My uphill climb started as an office boy, after which I became the clerk of rice trading department in Singapore. However, I was quick learner. 3 years enough for me in the rice trading department helped me a lot to learn the trading business. I later became back the same in my hometown of Johor along with my brothers and cousins. Shortly after that, I founded the Malayan Sugar Manufacturing Company, which quickly gained popularity. It went on to become monopoly in sugar production space of Malaysia, producing 80% of Malaysia's sugar and 10% of world sugar. That precisely how me got this nickname, the Sugar King of Asia. Establishing monopoly was not so easy. Have you ever seen Michael Jordan play when he is on rhythm run? So it was exactly like that, like me. Naturally, this ambitious and immensely clever business did not just stop at that. I started a chain of hotels that famous like you all can heard, that is Shangri-La, which is now spread out through the world and is all set to open in Kuala Lumpur and Penang. I also have a lot of investment in huge business in nearly all of Asian countries, Indonesia, Australia, Malaysia itself, and Singapore, Philippines, and non-Asian countries. Experts will often say that my speed and cleverness led to the near impossible success. Also, many entrepreneurs would like to collaborate with me because my speed and my cleverness would like would go will make the business success. Mm, According to the Forbes, my net worth is estimate US dollar 10.6 billion as of July 2020, making me the wealthiest person in Malaysia and 104th wealthiest in the world. As for April 2019, according to the Bloomberg Billionaire Index, I have an estimate net worth of 18.5 billion US dollar, making me the 53rd richest person in the world. So, what can I say? I am the selected person that I can stay in the hot air balloon, comparing to the 3% earlier. So I am the one. I am the selected. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Tan Sri Piramli and I was born in 1929 at Pulau Pinang. My father is from Aceh and my mother is from Seberang Perai. I start my school at Sekolah Melayu Kampung Jawa and I start involved in acting in 13 years old. I received my Pingat Setia Mahkota from Tan's that brought me Tan Sri title in 1990. My peak award is in 1963, which I received the most versatile talent at Hong Kong. During my career, I have produced 1,000 songs, and also I have produced 34 films. In my film, I give valuable message through music beyond the world, honestly, with valuable message, moral, and valuable works, which still relevant until now. As you can see, you can show my film like Pendekar Bulan Jelapuk are still involved until now, and it gives some important value to our society. It gives the important note to the government to prepare to provide the science to the society. Other than that, I also have been act as a community thinker, which give a message through my film and song. Other than that, I active in society like acting, sport, and business, and also publication. I also have attended academic forum as a speaker, and other than academic forum, I involved in language congress and also culture congress. I have the greatest impact on society, therefore I should remain in the balloon.
To Mr. Bill Gates, what you say may be true. However, in the 2000, a number of malware misshaped target security flaws in Windows and other products. Microsoft was also accused of locking vendors and consumers into their products and of not following or complying with existing standards in its software. In 2004, the European Union found Microsoft guilty in the Microsoft Corp Commission case, and it received an 899 million euro fine. This shows that Microsoft Corporation still lack in the security and system. So, how can you sure that this problem might not occur again? Second, you are unfair, disloyal in competition, a deceptive business practice. that cause economic harm to other business or to consumers. You monopolize the market and make other business take loss and also make some of other business go bankrupt. Do you got something to defend yourself? And third, you also said the world still need you. There are many other big private charity like yours to support around the world, such as the Given Pledge. So, why we still need you in this balloon?
Mr. Tan Sri Piramli, you said that valuable message have been shown through film and music. But how about the scene that show the actors smoking and drink alcohol? Secondly, there is also gambling scene that been shown in the film. Are you sure that is the right message to your viewer? And thirdly, looks like you are active in forums such as Academic Culture and Language Congress. But in your film, dialogue in language that you use contains some words that are not suitable to hear by children. I am totally not allow my children to watch the film so far. So from all this point, do you have anything to say before getting kicked out from this balloon?
Okay, to Mr. Robert Kwok, I heard Ex-Tourism and Culture Ministry Nazri Abdulaziz diatribe against you was shocking and dismaying. His vile and virulent attack was uncalled for in absence of any solid evidence to cause or justify such an inexplicable intemperate outburst. What has he said that you had funded DAP to help bring down the Barisan National Government by overthrowing UMNO? Okay, for the second thing, you are coward. If you richest man in Malaysia, then why are you hiding behind back of wall in Hong Kong nation? What can you say no to Malaysia compared to them? What are the Hong Kong have then the Malaysian doesn't? Okay, the third one, I wanna ask you, what a disappointment you has turned out to be. What Malaysian thought the Sugar King Robert Kwok in the CEP China would bring in at least 100 billion in cheap money to Malaysia. Instead, Malaysia will have to pay huge damage and compensation to China for cancelling all those various projects on top of the billions already spent so far. So I really think you need to be thrown from this hot air balloon, Mr. Robert Kwok.
So, Tan Sri Muhyiddin, yes?
Okay.
I have three questions to ask you. So the first one, in March 2010, you fall into controversy by stating you was Malay first rather than Malaysian first. You also said that there is nothing wrong with other races doing the same. For example, the Chinese could claim themselves to be Chinese first, Malaysian second, and same for the Indians. On 13 July 2010, you also said that anyone was free to form an association including Chinese or Indian version of the Malay rights group PECASA. So the second one, I also heard you was fired from Deputy Prime Minister on 2015 because of public and critical remarks about your superior Najib in handling of 1MDB. Can you explain that? So the third one, Lim Kit Siang labels you as worst offenders in politicking, camouflage as national good. He also said you put personal political interest ahead of the public during the current COVID-19 pandemic. So do you want to defend yourself? Do you have anything to say? Thank you.
Dr. Nurisham, you may have a point there. But I think all health workforce would also act the same as now to prevent COVID-19 from spread. As I know, the other country are developed the vaccine for COVID-19, so people will get the vaccine against the virus. I think there is no need for us to operate with COVID-19 anymore, since we will have the vaccine. I think your role are not very needed currently. Second, you also said that MCO are introduced, but why still the virus spreading and people still get infection of COVID-19? Are you doing it right? If the virus still spreading, is it mean that way is not working efficiently? We need new ideas to prevent this pandemic and end it. Third, regarding to MCO also, I saw on news that many people are having a hard time when they cannot go to work, mostly for the worker that doing business as their income. When they cannot go to work, they cannot earn money income to support themselves. This is giving burden to people, and it continues for a few weeks. You better get ready for your answer before your balloon will be kicked.
Alright, Tan Sri. I simply can agree when you said that the vaccine will end this pandemic because negotiations to obtain a COVID-19 vaccine are still ongoing. But even if Malaysia get one, this won't mean the end of the battle against COVID-19. What is more important is the continuous effort to break the chain of infection by adhering to the standard operating procedures and physical distancing. Even though we have the vaccine, you will still need to practice physical distancing. The vaccines mean you are fighting the war inside your body, so it created the antibodies to fight the war. Why not take the fight outside your body? Maintain a distance of 1 meter from others, wear a face mask, and practice good hygiene. That way, we can break the transmission of COVID-19 by 82%. We need the cooperation of the public and frontliners to comply with the SOPs to break the chain of infection. This is why we are doing so well now. It's all due to SOP compliance. And second, let me restate my point. One of the critical things in this period of MCO is the social compliance and social responsibility coming from the community, because this is the one that will protect them from the COVID-19. The virus still spreading because some people that are complying to the MCO. As you can see, there are some people who are still not wear a face mask when being outside, not practice social distancing, and not practice good hygiene. Researchers also told that the virus can live for hours to days on surface like countertops and doorknobs. How long it survives depends on the material the surface is made from. Keep in mind that you are probably more likely to catch it from being around somewhere who has it than from touching a contaminated surface. I believe that if the people comply with the SOP, the country will be able to cut off the infection chains of COVID-19. To be clear, please comply the health order to prevent this pandemic from spread and infect more people. And the last one to answer, I do accept your point of view, but I believe Prime Minister also has announced that government will help all these people by giving finance helps, exception in payback loan, and much more. It is really not easy to other people. It is really not easy to other people, but for the goodness of people and country as well, we have to endure that because safety of the people is the first priority during COVID-19 pandemic. So I should be stay in this air balloon. Thank you.
Tan Sri Robert Kwok, I want to defend myself. For your first point, just to be clear, this is what I mean when I said Malay first. First of all, I said this in response to Lim Kit Siang's challenge for me to resign if I refuse to admit that Malaysian first and Malay second as a proof that I was in full support of the One Malaysia concept. I will not bow to his demand. I just to remind that even I said Malay first, but it does not mean that you are not Malaysian. For the second point, I critique Najib for his own good and for the country. Nearly $700 million were transferred to his personal bank account from the 1MDB fund, which he set up in 2009. This will give a bad impression from other countries and Malaysian as well. And the third point that you said, I beg to differ. I strongly believe that after the resignation of the seventh Prime Minister, I was selected by His Majesty the King himself because of my capability to lead the nation and create a better Malaysia. So from this, I want to counter the argument that I want to counter your point. So I should keep on the balloon. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Datuk Seri Dr. Noor Hisham, I do accept your point of view, but I believe at that time, not only us that have the problem. That's why I still a technology advisor in the company to support the company until now to advise how to deal with the problem that might occur nowadays. Okay. For the second point, you point at me, at that time, I think we need to upgrade our technology. If I not create the situation, so no one will grow. That's why I act like that, so that others will forcefully upgrade their business. So look at now, we got Apples that developed by Steve Jobs. Because of the forcefully situation that might upgrade our technologies. So for the third point, in 2018, I and my wife donate around the 36 billion USD to the foundation so it can be support a broad range of social, health and education development. I also established GATE Cambridge scholarships at Cambridge University to support young girls to chase their dream and contribute more to the world. So with due respect, I really think either one should stay in these hot air balloons because the world needs someone like me the most because I who can support the charity all around the globe. You got point there where there are many others private charity, but not all can support around the globe. I one of the founders of largest private charity in the world who should stay in this air balloon because the world still needs someone like me. Thank you.
So, Mr. Gates, I have some points to defend myself. So, the first question you asked, I want to answer that. If a person in the street got taken in by this spurious claim by a fugitive residing in England, he could be forgiven. There was no shred of evidence or even a remote possibility that me could have funded DAP to bring down the Barisan Nasional. How can I do that? On top of that, Raja Petra, the lawyer, was ordered to take down the ex-minister scandalous articles, thus clearly establishing the fact that those articles were nothing but lies. He took down the articles without a whimper. I totally have denied funding the DAP, and Lim Kip Siang himself also denied receiving any money from me personally. Okay, the second one, I can say to you, when compared to China and Hong Kong to the ocean, it was like a fish in a pond that wanted to grow larger. Even after I left Malaysia, I still had any major business interest in Malaysia, from sugar to hotels like a Shangri-La Hotel in KL and Penang, shipping and also financial. Even after I sold my sugar refineries, my business in Malaysia had been diversified further into flour manufacturing and palm oil. So in conclusion, I cannot say that I totally left Malaysia, but I just no longer the king or something. So the third one, let me clear this. After government election 14, Malaysia is struggling under 250 billion US dollar in debt. So the Prime Minister of Malaysia, with my counsel, said his decision to freeze, not to cancel the projects. It will help a lot to this country, can save money. I believe also China itself does not want to see Malaysia become a bankrupt country. China understand our problem and agree. Uh, the Chinese company projects are being too expensive for this debt-ridden country. So why do we pay the compensation? It's better, more better than we increasing the debt. So this, my point, truly can make me stay in the balloon from the other 4%. I guess so. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Robert.
Tan Sri Muhyiddin, let me clarify and correct your statement. Regarding your statement for valuable message for the smoking, there at that time, Malaysia are open for drink alcohol and smoking. The government not restrict to that. We have been sponsored by our manufacturer. And that time, we have some agreement that we have to follow. There is some acting that we have to do that. So the advertisement also are open for the alcohol. If you are alive in 1950 until 1973, it also answers the same point for the gambling issues. But in current situation, our broadcast will cut the scene if they feel that the scene are not suitable. And for the third point, regarding the during that time, there is no act that we have to follow. Some of the dialogue is just for fun. As you can realize, for time being, in my film, there is some parental guidance warning appear before we start the story. So I advise you can control your own family while watching my film. So that is my point, which answer the question from yours. And I would like to stay in this balloon.
Alright, that's all
Like and
from us.
subscribe.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Bye bye.
Thank you guys.